Good evening. All right. What year is it? Oh, good. It's 2000. Phantom Menace on VHS. Jar Jar Binks, y'all. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Yeah. Sing it with me. Let me hear you. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. All right. Not bad. Give it up for your host, Mark Hornback, the well Hungarian. All right. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. I'm gonna see you at the fun. What? Wash your jeans, bring your notebook, bring your jokes. We got a microphone at the phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Is this thing off? Oh, you're laughing at me. Still counts. Phone simulation, yeah. Phone simulation 2000. I can't hear you. I can't hear you in the back. All right, let's get this night started. I know you came to have a good time. Yeah, practice your jokes now. I'm gonna see you over there. Phone simulation 2000, yeah. 9/11 hasn't happened yet. I think better before we still be.
Yeah. Welcome to Fun Simulation. Hey, thank you, Josh DiDonato, for being our dancer tonight. Ian Ryland Smith passed the torch on to him tonight. Josh, he works up a sweat every time, and I kind of like that. A lot of energy, brings it up. You'll be seeing Josh later. This is good. We got a pretty packed house. This is gonna be really fun night. It's gonna be exciting. We'll see you later, Josh. Thank you. So thanks. Welcome to Fun Simulation 2000. You're gonna see a bunch of comics. If you're on here, stick around to the end too. Everyone that sticks around until the end, we'll do another minute, another speed round. That's very exciting and fun. Also, I am drinking absinthe and tonic tonight. That's what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
Finishing a bottle of absinthe that I bought in New Orleans on vacation about 6 years ago. I went to New Orleans and I was like, I need to buy a bottle of absinthe. I need to get some real good stuff. So I went down there and I went to a real local shop called Whole Foods, and I went to the Whole Foods and I looked at the absinthe they had, and I found one, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the. I asked what's the good one, and he's like, this one, and I look, and when I got home, I noticed that it was imported from France, and that it was imported by a company out of Chicago, and you could get it anywhere in the country. So I got the real good shit in New Orleans. I finally got a diet tonic for my soda stream, so I'm just mixing all the alcohol I don't like to drink just with tonic, and that's what's going on with this. So we'll see how this night goes. It's got a little green tint to it, so this is going to be exciting. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I have a new shirt. Check out this new shirt. I got a new shirt yesterday. It's a nice shirt. I like it. It's. I haven't bought clothes since all of COVID because I don't care. I haven't grown or shrank. But I got this shirt because I went to visit my mom and my brother yesterday, and it was too small for my brother. He bought it and it didn't fit him. So I want to point out I'm 38 years old and I'm getting hand-me-downs still. I'm still getting hand-me-downs. This is definitely, yeah. I don't know what's going on with this generation. We are completely screwed, but I'm getting hand-me-downs still. So this is I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about COVID for a minute. Big surprise. Why am I going to talk about COVID? Because we're down to one comedy crutch. Trump is not president anymore. We had 2 crutches. We lost 1 crutch in the last few months. So all comedians can always resort to COVID. That's what they'll be doing for the next 2 years. So I'm going to be using I'm going 1 crutch instead of 2 tonight. And that's COVID. It's weird to be flying like that, but everyone thought there was going to be a COVID baby boom. But I've been working. I'm actually on my 3rd job, working remotely through COVID, and I've met all of my coworkers at every place's children on Zoom, and that's not inspiring to breed myself. That's not what I want to do anymore. But I do want to get a parrot, because one guy had a parrot, and that thing would just swear during meetings, and it was amazing. And it would swear. And it would laugh in people's voices that were on the Zoom call. It would laugh in other people's voices. Where people went, "What is that? What are you listening to?" And he's like, "No, it's this parrot, man. It's just this parrot. He parrots things. He's giving out passwords and trade secrets and shit." I don't really know. It's going to be fine. But what I learned about also in COVID and seeing all of my coworkers' children on Zoom and what's been going on is that homeschooling doesn't work. There's nothing going on with homeschooling. It doesn't work. And not just through COVID. I don't think homeschooling works at all. I think we know that that it's a sham. And some people might say, "Mark, I watched the Scripps spelling bee, and half of those genius children were homeschooled. But I want to know what subject they were being taught at home besides read the dictionary at 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock every day. That's all it is. Like, that's all it is. Like, anyone could spell shit if you memorize the dictionary. They're not learning anything else." Okay, you can't teach comedy either, because I've taken many classes, and this is what you guys are getting out of me tonight. Our first comedian coming up. Let's put your hands together. I'm really excited for Kelly Zemnikas.
Yay.
Woohoo!
I'm not drinking absinthe. I'm drinking water. It's not as fun. What can I say? I'm not drinking right now, friends. I'm not drinking. I'm so jealous of all my American friends who are getting the vaccines. It's so wonderful to see you guys getting your shots and stuff. The rollout up here in Toronto in Canada is so slow. Like, I don't know when the fuck I am going to get it. So I'm just here at home, making sourdough starters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's March 2020 all over again in my house, which is great.
Huh.
But yeah, I think for the first time in my life, I can safely say I would feel better in America right now. I would feel safer.
USA.
Never said that ever before, but it is. I hurt myself really badly recently. I put my neck out and my shoulder and dislocated like my shoulder here, brushing my hair.
Yeah.
It's just combing out the curls with too much vigor. And I think it's just one of the things about being over 40. Like, every fucking thing you do is dangerous after 40. It's really weird. As soon as this show is over, I'm going to start a petition to have a little sticker put on hairbrushes that says, "If you're over 40, use this with extreme caution." I think it'll help. I think it will help people. It's just crazy. I put it as a Facebook status that I hurt myself, and I was floored at the number of friends I had who were like, "Oh my God, I put my back out zipping up my pants." Nuts. I'm hoping like one of an eventual Avengers movie will just have them in their mid-40s doing really wild shit like waking up. It's just so dangerous just to start your day at 40. Just kind of cool. I was definitely a kid who couldn't wait to be an adult. I was one of those youngsters who just could not wait to grow up when I was younger. I also wore a lot of pantsuits, which probably didn't help in those optics. But I frequently, when I was in school, I was frequently mistaken for the teacher on class. I was, probably because of the pantsuits, probably added in the whole thing. But yeah, like a lot of, young boys are hot for teacher when they're younger. That's the thing you hear. I'm here to say it is not as hot when you're mistaken for the teacher. It's definitely not as sexy. It doesn't do as much for your ego. It's like you guys just want the illusion of the teacher. You don't want the actual teacher. You just want the mystique. So it kind of sucks that way. One cool thing over the past few months, I met somebody, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We met in a Zoom meeting, which I feel like a couple years from now is going to sound very old-timey. It's going to be like our future kids, like, how did mom and dad meet? Oh, in a Zoom? Oh, was like grandma hosting? I feel like that's what's going to happen. But it's wild. Like, he's in the States, so we actually can't be together right now. So I feel like I'm dating a guy who is 1080 pixels. And because I'm in Canada, he gets to say his girlfriend lives in Canada. So we both sound like we're lying. Anyhow, I'm Kelly Zemnikas. Thanks so much for the spot.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly Zemnikas. And give it up for all the hot teachers working in the front line of COVID and teaching your kids more than just dictionaries, right? That's what we're doing. That's why they go to the classroom. There's more than one subject. There's new math. There's rewritten history. Those are some new subjects coming out. There's reading the dictionary. And then there's what else? That's all kids are learning right now, right? I don't know. Our next comic, she could go into it a little further. Very excited to introduce your next comic, Laura Hogg.
I cannot go with that. Thank you. My God, the Zoom face, I gotta switch my face is so big and so wide and so round that like wolves bay at it, you know. Just always have to brace myself. Kelly was talking about the vaccine. Yeah, we're doing a pretty good job here in the United States. And, we're talking, we used to be one of the world leaders in like, healthcare stuff. And I'm sure we'll find a way to, to pooch it. Okay. Anyway, that was not, I was like, don't try to do anything political, Laura. That's the conversation I should have had with myself off of this time. But I got the vaccine. I did though. I got the first shot. I'm going to get the next shot in 2 weeks. And I'm grateful for it. I used to do drugs. I don't do drugs anymore. But when they came at me with that syringe, I was like, I wonder if they'd let me inject it myself. Just for old time's sake, to see if I still got the touch. I work for a non-for-profit, and I answer to a board of directors. So we have a person on the board who's a we person. So I will get emails that say things like, what do we think of the new email system? I don't know what we think. What do we think? Or do we know if everybody's using their new email addresses? Well, if we knew that, we wouldn't be asking us, would we? And the one I got recently was, we need to go check with everyone and make sure that they're using it. Well, we have a lot of other work to do. When we hear that, we think we should go fuck ourselves. So, all right, that end is always hostile, but that's how I feel. Okay, this isn't about how I feel. This is about, I don't know what it's about. I don't know why I'm here. I've been doing this for 10 years. I still don't understand it. Okay. Let me just say last night I saw a comic right from Chicago. It was and my neighbors, it turned out they're friends and they were having a party in the backyard. And I was like, oh my God, Chris is downstairs. I haven't seen this guy. I think I ran into him once, like a third of the way through the year of 2020. So I was like, oh, a chance to connect. And it's always emotional when I see somebody, Chris Tranny. Yes. And Mark was asking me which Chris, and because there's only two. Thank you. So anyway, so it's like, oh, catching up. How are you? How was it? we talk for maybe like a minute about what's gone on in our lives. And then right away, why are we not getting booked at the Laugh Factory? That's what it's like nothing ever changed, you know? And that was good. It's just like, it gives me hope that things are going to open back up and I'll have the same shit struggles that I did as before. So, all right, that's all I have. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank
Like
you,
a dire
Laura Hawk.
tree.
That is great. You know what? So if everybody knows, a lot of it, this is a Chicago-based mic. We're normally based out of a bar in Chicago. In Chicago, they're using the United Center, which is where the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks play, as like a mass vaccination site, like, you know, right out of a movie, you know, where like there's guys in fatigues, you know, lining up and sticking you with something, and then something's gonna go bad in 4 weeks from now. But they're doing that. But I'm just absolutely shocked that nobody has started a fucking open mic there with all these captive people trying to get healthy, trying to help themselves. How is there not a mic? And that's where I'm performing next Sunday in the parking lot E of the United Center. See you all there. Our next comedian coming up will not be there. I think he's from overseas, so he'll have to zoom in next week. But we're gonna be doing this in person at the United Center at the vaccination site until I get shot by the National Guard. Welcome, Josh Mandel.
Thank you. Woo, guys. I suck at multitasking. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing: is what I do is I always combine like the worst activities. Like I don't combine smart activities. Like I'll talk on the phone while I'm making breakfast. Like I'll do stuff like I'll be like, let me shave my eyebrow in a way, like, and brush my teeth at the same time with an electric toothbrush. You know what I mean? So there was this month where I only had one eyebrow. And I didn't want to explain the story to people. So I kind of just didn't address it. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's having one eyebrow is like worse than having the normal type of unibrow, which is sad that like there's some like that I'm calling it a normal unibrow. But yeah, no, it was like so weird. And then at a certain point I was like, dude, I gotta just draw some shit on with Sharpie. You know what I mean? I took a black Sharpie and I did it, but I realized someone actually put the black cap on a blue Sharpie. So I was walking around for like 3 days looking like I just quit the Blue Man Group. And it was this, you know, it was a time for growth. One of my friends thought I was getting like chemotherapy, and I was like, just on my eyebrow, like right here, like. I went to go like make dinner last night, and I took out my butter, and it says Land O'Lakes slow churned. And I was like, do they want me to just be like glad that this took a long time to make? Is that the market? Is that how they're advertising? Like, oh, no, normal butter, they go like this. But but us, he was like, tastes better that way. Yeah, marketing strategies are like in my town, there's 2 CVS's right across the street from each other. And it's like, are you guys losing customers to the sidewalk? You know what I mean? Are people it's kind of a weird thing for a pharmacy to but they also sell snacks, so maybe I guess it could make sense. Like sometimes I'll be in there like, do you have Doritos or whatever? And they'll be like, no, you should check across the street. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, like, first of all, build a tunnel, but also, can you just have them throw it to me? Like, I'm across the street. I'm already here. So I guess they could lose customers to a sidewalk. Yeah, crosswalk, I mean, makes sense. Here's something you guys can try, actually, that I've been doing. If you have any neighbors that have been annoying you, or you just want to play a little joke on them, is what I've been doing is I've been driving around my neighborhood at night and just playing really loudly the noises of animals that shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? You can start small, like there shouldn't be crickets in the winter. But you can really ramp your way up. Like right now, there's like 15 different really confused exterminator companies just driving all over my neighborhood. Like I'm like the Steve Irwin of Bluetooth speakers. But anyways, thank you so much for having me on. Good night. I'm Josh.
Yeah. Man, no. Oh man, I lived probably like a mile from the Lincoln Park Zoo when I was in college, and you could hear that lion sometimes at night. It was fucking weird to be in a city, not near the zoo, not really that close to the zoo, and hear the lion. It was really weird. But back to your butter. Yeah, I feel like it's probably like some like really conservative Orthodox Amish company or something, and they're like, we churn it slow because you go too fast and those sexual feelings start coming out. You know what I mean? Like, you get tempted. There's lust that comes from churning that butter too fast. So slow churn in this place. Okay, that didn't make too much sense. Our next meeting coming up, he's high on cocaine. Ralph Anthony.
Hey, yeah, hell yeah. Great lead in. Talking about the slow churn, baby. Slow churn, hell yeah. I don't know. I was gonna riff off that, and I'm like, I don't even like butter. I'm lying. I love butter. I would fucking bathe in butter. Are you kidding me? I love butter. Oh boy. Okay. Nice intro though. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Fantastic. I wish I was high on cocaine. Can't do it no more. Deviated my septum. Can't do it. Yeah, no. That it would go up one nostril and out the other. That's just how my nose is like a fucking boomerang for drugs. It's like it's gonna go back on the table. That's not gonna be fun for anyone. And a waste of $50. So yeah. But you know, while we're talking about drugs, I can't stand people that compare a runner's high to an actual drug high. I just can't. I can't deal with them. They're the worst. Like, I remember when I was getting off drugs, people would always say, "Hey, Ralph, you should try running. It's such a rush. That runner's high will really make you forget all about doing coke." It's like, really? You sure? You don't say, huh? Okay. If I called up my friends at 3 a.m. and I asked them if they wanted to go run some laps, I'd have to find new friends. You know, I've never heard of hand jobs for hurdles. It's you know, there are no marathons for meth. Runner's high? No one's ever sucked a dick to run a mile. Okay. Oh boy, I know people are talking about the vaccine, COVID numbers going down, Canadians wanting to be Americans. It's a fucking weird world out there. It's so strange. So strange. I'll tell you though, it's been a tough year for hooking up. Really fucking tough year. And I don't know about you, but I just couldn't be as reckless as I used to be. Like, you know, back in the day, safe sex meant wearing a condom. Now safe sex means wearing a mask. But I needed to figure out how I could get off safely. So I did this deep sexual dive over the last year and realized I've got some fetishes. During my little sexual scavenger hunt, I became an advent calendar. If I popped open one of those little doors and found a chocolate, bam, that is my fetish. But I didn't have cool fetishes like bondage or role playing. No, my fetish was sexting. Surprisingly, that's a very energetic response. Because it's weird for me to admit that words get me off. Words turn me on. Like I just want to meet a girl, you know, who's gonna tell me how she's gonna pin me down, tie me up, wear a mask when she goes outside. You know, simple shit. You know, how hard is it to find a girl that's just gonna mentally jerk me off in the beginning and then mind fuck me when it's over? But I'm a horrible sexter. Like I can't get the thoughts to the words to the sex. I don't have it in me. I'll get a text that says, "I want to grind on you till you feel how wet I am." Wow. And I'll just reply, your boobs feel so good. And I'll spell "you're" wrong. Like I can't help it. I'm stupid. Sexting is tough for me. Do you know how hard it is to sit there with my phone and lotion? Now I need a dictionary too. I've ruined quite a few relationships in my day, but I have ruined way more phone cases. All right, you guys have been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph Anthony. Masks on, raw dog, and that is safe sex these days. That is that's what I got out of it. That's what I heard. Our next meeting coming up from Portland, Patty Mansbach.
Thank you. So this is, I'm just looking for advice. I stopped doing comedy. Let's see. Let's good professional development. Should I go to coding boot camp? I don't think it's worth it. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's like $11,000 though. I mean, whatever. I got a credit card. No, don't do that one. Go to a cheap boot camp. Anyway, I have this week trial of HBO Max, and is there anything good on HBO? Like all of the channels, do they even make anything good on HBO anymore? Don't suggest Game of Thrones. I don't like that space stuff. I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah, they have dragons in space. I got really into the real sports segments and stuff like that. There's a whole segment about why participation trophies are ruining our children. What? I guess the reporters don't like joy. I mean, we've been in this Pangea thing for like a year, right? I mean, where's the goddamn participation trophy? I am a millennial, so I don't get out of bed for less than 10,000 of those stupid things. I don't know, but I've been trying to teach myself, trying to like to code during quarantine. I've been taking some programming classes. I don't know how much I'm getting out of it, but they're cheaper and more useful than improv classes. So there's that. Like that, one of my teachers, he's like a raging Trump supporter. I know, yikes, right? So now in all my lines of code, I just comment out. I'm like, defund the police, yeah, because I am into what they call hacktivism. I learned that word. It's exactly what I am doing. Nope, I'm doing slacktivism, nothing at all. Whatever. I'm a woman in tech, so it's fine. Yeah, everybody's got the vaccine except for me. Whatever. I'm like so healthy. Sorry, I'm too healthy for the vaccine. My dad got vaccinated, which is, I guess, like it's good. Like I'm happy he got vaccinated. But also he thinks every show on HGTV is called The Gay Brothers, and that is who they are vaccinating. He's also convinced the restaurant Chipotle is pronounced Chiptole. It's like, really? You're saving that? Okay. But I'm out here in Portland, and my dad, he just mailed me some pepper spray and a personal alarm to quote, fight the Proud Boys. So that is a very exciting. He's getting really into social justice. He has like a Black Lives Matter sticker on his car, but he's kind of in a police town. So anytime somebody comes up to him, he plays like the feeble old man. He's like, what? I love the Bureau of Land Management. What are you talking about? Yeah, he's very privileged, as you can see. Let's see. I'm thinking about moving to Israel. That's real. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go, right? Except there's like this rumor that Orthodox Jews, they have sex through a hole in the sheet. I don't think they do. I don't know. Did you have an Orthodox fetish? Ralph, did you get that when you found your fetish? Was it Orthodox? Help me out, man. I'm just saying that I want that to be a thing because I have body issues and I'm always cold. So I feel like it'll go very well for me. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Passover is like next week. So, you know, Elijah's going to come into the door, but don't worry, he'll wear a mask. It's fine. Elijah, the super spreader. And let's see. Is anybody here into that polyamory stuff? Yeah. My question is, do you forget each other's names? Like that has to happen. Like you just like call them like the dog's name. It's just like, oh, too many names, right? I don't know. I don't even think I could do a threesome because I'm too ticklish. Like I know my limits, guys. I will say, post-COVID, I realized I just have to live my life to the fullest in the way that I can. And by that, I mean, I'm going to make out with a Mormon. I'm going to do it. Just grab them, just like, and then their eyes, they're going to look like they've been changed because, you know, they had to touch a Jew. Anyway, I don't have time for anything else, but thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patty Mansbach. I love it. My dog isn't ticklish, but my wife will be petting him. And then when he feels a third hand, and then if I go to pet him, if he feels a third hand, he's like, wait a minute, one hand, two. He's like, where did that come from? And then he runs away. So I imagine that would be you. Yes, women in coding. I love it. I support it. My wife is a software developer herself. I've been working in engineering, software engineering for too fucking long. But I was on an interview this week for a project manager, and it was me, my coworker, who is a middle-aged woman, and we're interviewing a middle-aged woman, which is, it's rare in tech. But during the interview, it was on Zoom. I used this same Zoom. I changed my background, thank God. But and I didn't have any. And I've had worse backgrounds than this. And in the middle of the interview, one lady had a cat, a black cat on her lap, and it got up and it left. And then a black cat appeared on the other lady's camera. Like, I'm not kidding. And they just took it in stride. And the lady whose cat disappeared just goes, "Oh, what's your cat's name?" And I was like, "We're not gonna talk about how that cat just fucking teleported. Like, this is not like." So it really felt like the two ants from Sabrina just did some sort of spell, and Salem jumped from one to the other. I don't know where I'm going with this. The absinthe is starting to take effect, everybody. Our next comedian coming up, very happy. Our not a resident dancer, our part-time resident dancer, switch off dancer, depends on the week. Josh DiDonato.
Hey. Yes, I will. If called, I will serve. No, I needed that. I needed that jolt just because I just had a bad day today. Really bad day. But,
Don't shoot the
but you
Asians.
know,
Oh, shit.
yeah. Okay. You can mute yourself, Yang. Thanks for stepping on the joke. Yeah, really bad day today. But you know, the craziest thing, I didn't commit a hate crime at the end.
Okay,
I didn't
that's
murder
good.
any
That's
people.
good.
Yo, keep talking, Yang. Yeah, that's it. You're only going to win over more people.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. How do you change the vibe when it gets because here's the thing, this is like the worst time to just violently hate an Asian person. And it's not because it's weird. It's I feel strange in general before even this moment where it got even stupider. But I don't know, just like being a white person in this culture where, white supremacy is just so prominent. And I feel like I got to do something. They just picked up some of the Proud Boys who, arrested some of the Proud Boys leaders for the attack at the Capitol. And if you don't know, I mean, somebody had mentioned the Proud Boys earlier, that, if you don't know, they're a hate group. And I just feel like I can't stay on the sidelines anymore. So I've decided one of the things that white supremacists will use to kind of clean up what they're doing is they'll use the phrase white pride. And so I've decided I'm going to start the white shame movement. So, and to counteract the Proud Boys, decided that I'm going to start a love group. So, yeah, we're calling ourselves the Ashamed Lads, and I'll have the GoFundMe up by next week. Okay. Yeah, it's who mentioned this? Kelly, I guess, was talking about meeting on Zoom, and like people talk about meeting online and how it can be kind of weird. But I feel like that's more and more becoming the norm. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot of comics, do bits about, like, oh, it's going to be weird to say like I swiped on your grandma or whatever, but I feel like in the future, meeting in person is going to be the weird thing to explain. You know what I mean? I feel like there's going to be conversations that are like, what's going on? All right. You know what? I'm already too far into I can't finish this bit. All right. Well, I think at least this time it wasn't my fault. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, Josh, sorry for the interruptions. And yes. Okay, how about that? If you're gonna jump on someone's punchline, save it for the fastest minute. That's when we just jump on each other's punchlines, because that's punchlines. That will be the theme of this this fastest minute in comedy. Until the end. Our next comedian coming up has been headlining the last few weeks and going up very late in the list. So he got moved up tonight. Chai Longo.
Woohoo!
Thanks, Mark. I'm just working on one bit today, science fiction. Do we have any science fiction fans in here today?
Woo.
All right, awesome. I've loved sci-fi my entire life. I love reading it. Philip K. Dick, did Minority Report. He did Blade Runner. Ursula Le Guin, Ray Bradbury, all that stuff. But if you're brand new to science fiction, it can be really tough with all the subgenres to kind of figure out what you should read. So I came up with a handy little chart to tell you what you should do and pursue in science fiction based on your age and your personality. If you're really young and idealistic and maybe a little naive, and you think that the whole world is binary and there's always a good guy and a bad guy, Star Wars is perfect for you. You got your BIPOC people, the brown indigenous people of color, dressed in the JCPenney catalog fall edition, all in brown and black. The BIPOC, also known as the last thing heard by Tupac before he got gunned down about 20 years ago. You got them. And they're facing off against the cops and the evil empire led by a tall black android named Obama. I mean, Darth Vader. The stormtroopers are white, and then Darth Vader is tall and black, but the actor who played him was tall and white, but then the voice was of a large black man. But anyway, you get the idea. Star Wars is perfect for you if you're very naive and you think there's good and bad. But let's say you get a little bit older and you go off to liberal arts college and you start spouting that ridiculous little soul patch right here, and you begin playing devil's advocate in all your gender studies and poli-sci classes. You start using phrases like, well, actually, life is really all about a meritocracy. You're all talk and no action. Star Trek is your jam. But maybe, you know what? You're 45 now. Your adult children no longer talk to you. You're on your third divorce. You've declared bankruptcy. And now you want to eat, pray, love your way through South America until you drink that ayahuasca and finally come to the realization that you should have been a cabaret singer your entire life. That's Dune. Now, here's the thing, though, about science fiction. One of the tropes that I don't really like at all is this idea about time travel solving your problems. So people are always saying, well, what if we went back in time, like the 1920s, and killed baby Hitler, otherwise known as Nazi Zero? What if we killed him? The whole world would be saved. Let's think about that in its logical conclusion. And I'm not Christopher Nolan. I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm not going to create a Mobius strip of scientific garble to help you figure this out. Assume you're some hipster doofus who's woke and you want to go back in time to early Germany and take out baby Hitler. What are you going to do? You're going to show up there with that stupid Peaky Blinders haircut, shaved up on the side with a little bit of gristle here. You're going to wear your skinny jeans and your black boots, 60 years well ahead of time. You show up, you walk up to some farmer before World War I wearing your BLM shirt, and the farmer goes, BLM, huh? Berlin Lives Matter? And you're like, yeah, Berlin Lives Matter. You're not going to fit in at all. So I'm going to assume I have 20 seconds here. Basically, if you want to take care of world peace, don't go back and kill baby Hitler. Send a bunch of women over to Harvard campus 20 years back and lick Mark Zuckerberg's taint. He will never create Facebook, and you got world peace. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah. Woo!
Oh, Elongo. Oh, man.
401. Cool.
I went to like back pre-COVID times, before I was cutting my own hair, which I do now. I went to a barber shop and they were playing Peaky. Oh, what is it? Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
They were playing that on the TV, and I'm like, I know what haircut I'm getting. This is painfully obvious. They're looking for tips on this TV show.
Yeah, shaved up here, a little bit of, just a little bit right here.
And I walked away with that. But they asked me, they're like, do you know this show? Do you know what the show's about? And I was like, no, but like, I'm pretty sure y'all are racist. Like that's all. I just
final season's coming up.
Too much shaving on the sides and back of heads is what people look like. No, but yeah. What was I gonna say? Okay, we're watching. So I watched. Did anyone watch? There was a Loyola U of I basketball game this morning. A big upset spoiler alert, Loyola won and upset a number 1 seed in the March Madness, which that's going to get canceled. We're not going to call it Madness within 2 years, but March Madness now was a big upset. We'll call it the March. I don't know. They'll come up with something.
March perturbed.
It'll be alliterative. They'll come up with something. But so Loyola won, and Loyola has a mascot that's a living person that is a 100-year-old nun called Sister Jean, who's wheelchair ridden and probably on the last breaths of COVID. Once I mean, the vaccine ain't gonna work on her. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna COVID or the vaccine, one or the other is gonna take her out. She's not gonna make it. So what I say is, put her on the roster. If you win that championship, I want to see some Rudy action. Throw her out there. Let the other team know they could foul her, knock her out of her wheelchair. I want to see. She's 5 feet tall. She gives basketball stats to the team before every game. Right? She's selling little bits of her soul every day to stay alive, and so Loyola wins. It's great. Deal with the devil. Our next comedian. I've been looking for our next comedian on the list for way too long. Sorry, I was just stalling. Our next comedian coming up. Please welcome Ying Vigilant.
Yeah. Hi, Mark. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be here because instead of in an Asian massage parlor, yeah, I don't want to be a target over there. But I've been having a bad day. The last week, how about that? Yeah, the Asians on the spotlight, the whole, I don't know, whole year or whole week. But okay, but I don't want to say the same thing the prop ball is saying. I mean, bad day. Okay, my point is, if I own a massage parlor, I'm going to change the name to Karen's Massage. What do you think, guys? Is that safer that way? All right, so you guys remember last mass shooting is when? So this will be the pre-pandemic, right? So now the mass shooting start again. I hate to say it, but we don't want to go back to normal, right, America? Okay, that's just too tough, too rough. Okay, let's have something happy, you know. I like to work out, guys. I work out all the time. I got 3 5-pounder and 8-pounders, like, because I want to look good. I want to good in shape, right? So the other day I was working out really good, really hard. And then the judge says, "Can you not work out in my traffic court?" And the judge says, "I can see you in the Zoom court, traffic court." So, oh man, okay. But Your Honor, I have a medical condition. I just can't stop working out. So the judge slapped me with $500 fine. I'm talking about Asians are bad drivers. We're really good at getting the fine ticket. Nobody laugh, huh? Nobody feel sorry for me? So working out in the traffic court? Okay. I hate to say Asian moms are tough, but I was yelling at this guy the other day. I was yelling like, "You don't work hard enough. You're so lazy. You're so lazy, and you're dirty. You can't take care of yourself, and it's always eating. All you want is to eat. And then the grandma says, "Come on, he's only 3 years old. He's just starting learning soccer." So this is my son. Yeah, this is my son. And I was thinking, no, I'm not gonna let her win. My grandma. I said, look, Tiger Woods, right? Tiger Woods started playing golf at 2 years old at his garage. That's how you make it. If my son's gonna make it, that you gotta start early. That's talking about Tiger Mom. You got one right here. That's I don't know. I don't think my son called me bitch now, but now he's doing great. So, okay, so I want to end with this. Okay, in China we have saying, "You are what you eat." Everybody. So when I got here to this country, I hear what they say is, "You are who you're associated with. You are who your friends are." I'm like, okay, I like to eat and I like my friend, but I can't eat who I hang out with, guys. So that's my time. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Vigilant. I like it. Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna keep rolling. We got a lot to get through, and I've been wasting a lot of time in between wandering. And I also have to mix myself a new drink of alcohol. I'm trying to get rid of. That's what Sunday nights are for. Is now me mixing things that don't really work. But, yeah, I'll be right back. But in the meantime, please welcome Pat Griffin.
Oh, thank you. Unlike Sister Jean, I have been vaccinated. I've had my shots. I've been spayed and I'm housebroken. And so now I'm up for adoption. I thought maybe a nice Asian family might take me in. I think they're missing a few women. Maybe a grandma, who knows? Okay, that didn't work. But I'm 79 and the way things are going, I'll be 85 by Christmas. My kids don't want me to drive. They strap me in the back seat facing backwards. They call it reverse parenting. And my daughter, when we climb out of the car, she'll say, no grunting allowed. Okay, so I try not to grunt. And then she says, don't say I'm not going to grunt. And later tonight, my son will text me, Mom, it's after midnight. Where are you? Should I tell him I'm in the Tenderloin doing comedy? No. Check with your sister. She has me on GPS. Well, I admit it. I did have an accident. Well, Bambi killed my Volvo. That's what happened. It was in the dark of night to the left of Livermore. This deer flew out of the bushes into my headlights, bam, onto my car. Why? Why did she do it? She missed the safety committee meeting. Instead, she went to the stag party. That's where she met Buck. Now, Buck and Bambi decided to play chicken. Now, you know what chickens do? They cross the road. So Buck and Bambi are racing. They're running and running and running through the, and I believe it was consensual. Buck and Bambi racing through the forest, and they run and run and run. They get to the road, and the Buck stops here. Bambi passes the Buck. Here comes my car. And now my Volvo's in hospice. Allstate wants to pull the plug. I don't know if you know about the Blue Book, but the Blue Book value of this car is less than the value of the Blue Book. I love that car. I took care of that car. Well, there was the time that I broke the dipstick. A dipstick, for you young people, it's what you use to measure the oil in the car. Bicycles don't have them. Now, it was out in the middle of Nevada. Nevada is this vast expanse that you have to cross to get to the world. So here I'm standing with a broken dipstick, and the business end of it is still down in the hole. So I called the Volvo dealer, and this is what he said. Send me a dipstick pic. I'll stop there. Thank you. How many minutes was that? I didn't time it.
He's still gone.
I got another minute. Is that what you're telling me? Another minute. Okay. Well, then I'll tell you about. There was a time that I was rear-ended by the eastern edge of a bed and breakfast sign in Durango. It just, bam, into the window of this station wagon, broke glass everywhere. And so this very kind man, he wrapped the back of the car in this sheet, and we made it to Texas with this diaper on the back of the car blowing in the wind, and it made a terrible noise. Anyway, and we drove up to this very nice hotel, and we didn't look very good, actually. But anyway, that's the end of that story. I'll have to think of a fun.
Thank you, Pat Griffin. Sorry, I disappeared to make. Thank you. I disappeared, and I'm still making. It takes me more than 4 minutes to make an old fashioned. I'm just telling everybody. That. I was sitting there, and I was actually getting the orange rind off of an orange, and I'm like, oh, I'm hosting a fucking open mic, and nobody's watching the clock. Sorry about that.
I should have much more than that. I do.
It's all good. We're gonna keep rolling because I wasted a lot of time making a cocktail and rambling between people. So please welcome Ira Summer.
Thanks. You can go back to slow churning your drink. So local grocery store around here, Safeway, has started doing the Monopoly game again, and I'm addicted, absolutely addicted. I go, I shop there, I buy things I don't even need because you get extra tickets. I went yesterday, came home with 4 packages of Tofurkey and some tampons. It is amazing how absorbent. I did not know how absorbent Tofurkey could be. It is. I've got things I don't even need, and I'm buying stuff there that you should not buy at Safeway. Passover's coming up this coming weekend, and so I need to get my Passover supplies. Safeway pretends to have stuff like that. What they do when the holiday comes near is they stick all the items that they have, the Jewish items, and they move them to a little island, a little Jewish island. They take them out of the ethnic row where they allow minorities to walk up and down and get their own foods and stick their Jewish food in a little Jewish island. And so I'm going over there to look, and I'm seeing kosher for Passover Hanukkah candles, a couple dreidels, just anything that's Jewish. They don't know any better, but they're extra tickets. So of course I'm picking them up. The Passover's coming this weekend. And so my mother wants to do another one of those Zoom family seders. This is sort of, for those of you who are not Jewish, what this is this is a very prescribed way of discussing the holiday so that your family gets into a fight. That's really what most Jewish holidays are about. They're opportunities to poke fun at all of your insecurities and all of your siblings and just get into a fight. I know, normal, non-Jews have to limit that mostly to Thanksgiving and Christmas, but we've got all sorts of opportunities that we can do this. And my sister has gone and she has found the new book to go through at a liberal Haggadah, which she likes because it's mostly in English, which takes away all the fun of us chanting things in Hebrew that we don't understand. To me, that's similar to the way I sing rap songs. I don't really know what the words are. I just mouth the syllables and they come out. So I'm prepared for this, but this one's in English. And then there are little prompts. So you have questions that you can start fights with your family. Like which of your family members wouldn't deserve to be rescued out of Egypt? How many of you do you think you should drown in the Red Sea? Why would you even bother with these people? So which of you is the stupid child? Which is the evil child? There are all sorts of opportunities for family fights. And this one, my sister just picked this one out to say, yes, this is what we need right now. We have been away from each other too much this year. We have missed out on opportunities to have really knockdown, drag out fights. We're going to make up for it this weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. I may not make it back next week. Thanks.
Summer, awesome. Thank you. For those keeping track at home, yes, I was making a cocktail. It was a very complicated cocktail. It's very delicious. The absinthe is hitting me, so I moved on to bourbon, which I know a lot more comfortably. So I'll be taking it home on bourbon. We'll be good. Yeah, that's it. So like someone earlier was talking about, and I can't remember, I think it was when I was making the cocktail or possibly before then, about you know what, I'll do this later. We'll keep rolling around. I got This would literally just be a waste of time if I keep speaking right now. Our next meeting coming up. Please welcome Jordan Lloyd.
Hi. So my dad is from Boston and my mom's from the Caribbean, and they married each other because no one else could understand their accents. My dad, he's got 3 kids. We're all 10 years apart, which I think is pretty smart because the time I was to go to preschool, my oldest sister could pick me up. Excellent family planning. I'm so happy that my dad got remarried because he finally stopped hitting on my friends, which was great. My half-sister and my mom are 4 years apart. I wish I could tell you that my mom was older.
Oh, no.
Single. I cry every day. Probably related. I'm at, which is what I tell myself when I'm crying. That's cool. Dating is hard, but getting a free meal makes it easier. Every time I go on OkCupid and buy groceries for most of my 20s, and I'm very proud of that. On a first date, I like to find out how much food I can order without my date feeling entitled. It turns out that's a slice of pizza. And I really like pizza. It's also important for me to know what a guy is packing in his fridge. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's all right. I was scrolling through something else in the meantime. Yeah, thank you, Jordan Lloyd. We're gonna keep rolling. Oh, real quick, I want to point out. Yeah, did I mess up? I don't know what's going on. Ralph was laughing too hard. I didn't cut you off, Jordan, did I? No. Okay.
No, I only had 3 minutes or 2 minutes. So.
You were talking about nobody understanding people from Boston. I started. For those of you who didn't know, I worked at Amazon. You could ask me anything about Amazon at least maybe in 6 months when I'm not under an NDA anymore. But I worked at Amazon. I left, and now I work for a company based out of Boston, and it's fully remote. But most of the people there are from Boston, and I sometimes forget that. Like I'll sign on in the morning, and I'll be like, "What's wrong with that guy's voice? Is he deaf?" Sorry, it's very but when I was at Amazon, I got made fun of for my accent. Like people literally said you have a Chicago accent, and it's like not really professional because everybody at Amazon talks in the upward in like a West Coast upward inflection. It's very strange. But I'm right at home with Boston. We all just talk like a bunch of assholes. That's all it comes down to. Great. All right, we're gonna keep going. Our next comedian coming up. Where are you at? This is great. Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sophia Smarandescu. Sophia.
Thank you. You guys, I said my background is like something from North Korea because last night I was just kind of fantasizing if I ever got to like travel to North Korea to do comedy, and I wrote like a little set. I'm just gonna tell you a few jokes from it. So I'm performing to North Koreans and Kim Jong-un's like cabinet. Okay. I just flew in, and boy, is my passport locked up at the embassy. My hotel is beautiful. I love the view of the gun tower. The audience is beautiful tonight. I can see you got the number 5 official haircut. We have official haircut, so all right, this is just sad. So stand-ups ruined my laugh, and I've been trying to test out different laughs. So I'm just gonna try them on you guys, just to see what you guys think. Are you guys cool with this? Okay, so this first laugh is mad scientist. Mad scientist. Next laugh is wealthy aristocrat. Wealthy aristocrat. And then this last one is hardened comedian who's lost all joy. Ha! All right. I'm a liberal gal, but I have questionable taste in men. Like, I like a guy who looks like a young George Bush, you know. I love that future war criminal look, like a guy who can, who looks like he'd like lie about a massive oil spill, you know. Or a guy who dodged a shoe during a press conference, you know. I was watching a I'm sorry, I feel like all my jokes are like dictator themed tonight. I didn't like plan for that. So I just have one more dictator joke I'm gonna tell you. I was watching a documentary about famous Romanian dictator Nicolae Ceausescu. He's like a C-list dictator, like he's not very famous, but heads up, if your nation's leader is ever speaking off a balcony instead of a podium, your democracy's in trouble. So but every year Nikolai would check the harvest to make sure it was good quality. So he was like part dictator, part grocery store manager. That's how you know times are tough, you know? Like when your nation's leader just starts picking up side gigs, right? It's like, hold up, why is Mussolini working the swing shift at this Baskin Robbins? And so one year they didn't raise enough crops, so they whittled wood to make it look like food, and they were all like terrified he'd take a bite out of it. I just can't imagine pranking a dictator. But also I feel like whittling food to look like grapes is like so much more impressive than just growing grapes, you know? Just, yeah. And I think if he takes a bite out of it, you can just like whittle a tooth. So, all right, I have like 30 seconds. I think I'm just gonna finish there. Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Sophia Smartandescu. I love it. Doing a classic 4-minute all jokes about dicks. PICTs, not penises, which is more what we're used to. Our next comedian coming up, he's gonna keep the streak of laughs going. Ian Ryan Smith.
Thank you. I do like keeping a streak going. I like streaking. I think they call it whiteout conditions when I do it. Yeah. I have to get the National Weather Service out when I go do it. Anyway, does anybody here like musicians?
Yeah.
You shouldn't. They're all terrible. Every musician is bad. Literally every single one. There is no exception. They're all terrible. Every single one. And this isn't a new trend. Beethoven was a drunk, but you would too if your job was to write music and you were deaf as shit. Hector Berlioz. He wrote Symphonie Fantastique. They gave him a medal for writing that one. They're like, here, have a medal. Isn't that neat? You know, he also got a restraining order because he was a weird, creepy incel. So, yeah, no good. Richard Wagner, he wrote The Ring Cycle, and that inspired Lord of the Rings. And he also wrote a very long book about how much he hated Jewish people. So he was no good at all. The Jewish musicians were no good either. George Gershwin wrote Rhapsody in Blue. If you've ever been to Chicago's airport, you hear that in the tunnel. It's the Rhapsody in Blue. You go through that tunnel. It's pretty cool. He also wrote Porgy and Bess. And to kind of put that in a modern context, imagine if someone who looked like me wrote a happy-go-lucky musical about life in the ghetto. That's Porgy and Bess. No good. No good. David Bowie fucked kids. Michael Jackson fucked kids. Drake fucked kids. John Lennon routinely beat his son. And Paul McCartney sees this happening and he's like, you know what, this is gonna make a great fucking song. Let me just write this down real quick. What a dick. I'm glad half the Beatles are dead. The only good Beatle is a dead Beatle, except for John Lennon. He's still bad even though he's dead. He was not a good dude. He would definitely have been canceled in today's day and age. And rightly so, the cultural appropriator, John Lennon.
Mhm.
Let's see. Does anybody else have a favorite musician? And you can trust me when I say these things because I know you're not going to Google them later. So does anybody have a musician they want me to ruin?
Miles Davis.
Miles Davis, junkie, complete addict, complete
That's-
heroin addict. I'm not
Maynard
even
Keenan.
lying about that one.
No, I know.
Yeah. Another one
Maynard Keenan, Tool.
from Tool.
Yeah.
Well, number one, he made Tool, so that you can count that one in there. Number two, he probably has a sex cult and not the good kind. All right, another one. One more, and then I promise I'm done.
John Mouse.
John Mouse, he's a Trump supporter and probably racist, even though he wrote a 300-page paper on how racism is bad, but that's probably something a racist would do. Say, I'm not racist.
That's you went over a little bit. Thank you, Ian Ryan Smith, guys. We're gonna keep rolling. I like that. Putting your degree to work. I like to see that. I like to see that.
Yeah, I have a music degree.
Their college degree. It's great. You only mentioned successful musicians though. So like that means that either all successful musicians are bad people or you have to be a bad person to be successful. So start turning bad, Ian. Start doing it. There you go.
I'm better at comedy.
Really weird.
than I am at
There's
music.
too many people that wasted their degrees, hence why they're doing comedy right now. Our next comedian coming up, we're going to keep rolling through. Alicia Rain.
I live in like a very crappy, very small town called Huron, South Dakota. Yeah, I just want to tell you that one of the reasons it's terrible is because it's known for having a very large pheasant on top of a seedy hotel called the Plains Hotel. And if you don't know what a pheasant is, it's like a cross between a turkey and a duck. And when I say large, whatever you're picturing in your mind isn't it. This pheasant is the size of the State Puft Marshmallow Man, like a Godzilla size concrete pheasant. Like at night, it is what nightmares are made out of. This is terrifying. And that's how I know I live in a terrible, terrible town. So anyway, basically everyone left so quickly this town that our high school went from like class A, I don't know if you like know all this, but like class A to like a lower grade. So like class B, so they go against smaller towns basically. And when everyone left en masse, it was like, take me with you. But I'm still here. So the point of that whole thing and like why I know about high school sports is because it's front page news in my little town, right next to, Irma Cheddar has her award-winning orchids again. Like that's like my small town. And there's another newspaper that's in circulation called Farm Forum, which, as you know, of course, is made for airline pilots. So it's good. But they also have weird front page news as well. One of their front page news is usually a big advertisement for bull semen.
Whoa.
Yeah. So if you need any, I have a lot left over because they were on like a buy one, get one free sale. So anyway, that's that. I've been back in my hometown for a couple of years, and yes, my favorite thing to do in this very small town is leave. So I take a lot of road trips, and on these road trips, I play a fun game called Find the Tree. And then I just eventually lose that game. I'm Alicia Rain. Thank you.
Yeah. Alicia Rain. We got one more comic, then everybody that stuck around gets to do the Fast Minute Comics. I'm really excited about this. And our next comic is a big fan of the room, a big friend of the room, a big fan of Fun Simulation 2000. He's been coming to it in person for years and now on Zoom, even though he's moved away. Please welcome the Reverend Ron Irvin.
Yes, praise the Lord. How are we doing on this blessed Sunday? Everybody came here straight from service. I'm very happy for you guys. Thanks for being here. The internet's #1 after church comedy open mic, so welcome. No, we're going from the small town to the big city. I just moved to New York City here about a month ago. And now movie theaters are open here again. They opened up on March 5th. So I went to go see a movie the other day at like noon in Times Square. And there was only one other lady. She was sitting 2 rows ahead of me. And midway through, she made like a bunch of noise and then turned back to me and said, "I'm so sorry. There was a mouse."
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Which we were just like, oh my God. And then we both just sat there and watched the rest of the movie like nothing else happened, which I think is just a testimony to how desperate I am to be back at the movies and just out in general. That or Anthony Hopkins rocks that much. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't tell anybody about it when I left. I could have, but I wasn't going to rat on a rat. So I don't know. Here we are. Somebody the other day said to me with 100% sincerity, "I can't tell if you're handsome or not." Which I think that's somehow like the most and least fucked up thing that you can say to a person. Like it's the most and least insulting thing that you can say, because it's like you're basically saying, yeah, your face fucks my brain up, but in a horny way. So I don't really know what to take away from that. But I guess on the other flip side, fair. I kind of get it. I do have kind of like a Blue Lives Matter Voldemort vibe going on. I understand. Like Charlie Brown grew up to be a libertarian YouTuber. I get it. It's even better if I take my glasses off. Jesus fuck. God, I look like Caillou if he grew up to be a cop and I can't control it. Fuck, these are filthy. Jesus Christ. No, and then somebody the other day, I was out, there's a lot of outdoor comedy going on here. So I was doing a show and I'm hanging out with people afterward, and somebody was just talking to me about being bald, and they were like, yeah, it's gone and everything, but like I think you're handsome enough and I think you have good bone structure and it works for you. And I was like, thank you very much for telling me that I'm handsome with fucked up features. That's great. That's an awesome thing to hear. I do love the great thing about homeless people in New York is they don't want money. Their craziness has ascended beyond monetary needs. They just want to do like amazing shit. Nobody wants $1 from me. Nobody wants a cigarette, but a dude did legitimately run up to me on the street the other day and just scream a poem at me and then walk away. It was great. Not like that guy is either the last true living artist in this godforsaken city or just a guy who doesn't know that open mics exist and he's really pissed about it. So there's that. I have this cool like exposed brick background, but it hides the fact that I live in a fucking closet for $950 a month. So that's nice. Like I actually showed it to a friend of mine and they're like, God, this is like a closet. And I was like, no, closets usually have a place you can hang your clothes up at. So that's a big difference. This place just gives you a place to want to hang yourself. It's fine.
Yes, it does.
It's fine. No, there's a lot of outdoor comedy going on here. I've been staying really busy with that, and you're just doing it like Manhattan's just right there, and you're just like basically streaming jokes under a tent to the street. And it's like I was watching a show and 2 people walked by, and I overheard one say to the other, "Oh, they're doing comedy here," and his friend just went, "Jesus Christ," and then just kept walking away. It's like I hate that. That's the worst thing that this pandemic really has done, is it's for some reason given comedians the idea that we're allowed to like force comedy onto people. I'm like, who is it? Was that like our good friend? I can't remember her name, but she's like a friend. She did a comedy in the foyer of her apartment or something. and her landlord got mad, and they're like, why would they do that? It's like, people love comedy. I'm like, not when it's forced into their homes when they're with their friends and family. That's not how this works. All right, my name's Ron Irvin. My special's on Pornhub. Give it up for your host.
Yeah.
Irvin, yes, thank you. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna tell a quick. We're gonna start the Fast Minute Comedy. Everybody's here, and I took attendance while we were on set. But what I'm gonna do is that is right. Do a minute or not. I'll bump to you. You can wave me off. That's fine. But speaking of like throwing comedy on people, we normally perform at Reed's Local. Reed's Local is open. I'm not gonna perform live there until I get vaccinated and I'm safe. And then you could show up and get sick if you want. I don't give a shit. Like that's on you. You guys can spread it amongst yourselves. I don't care. Like, but I need the vaccine for myself because I just started a new job, and I don't have sick days. COVID sounds like it's hard to work through. So, but at Reed's Local, it's a dive bar. It's awesome, and Sunday nights can sometimes be slow. And after I've been doing it for a few years there, a comedian went up and I know both the comedian and the other person I'm talking about, and I never name their names, and I won't do it because it's funnier that way. For me, it's funnier that I know who I'm talking about. But the comedian went up and was telling some funny jokes, and a person that was random audience had comedy thrown upon him, started laughing and went, "Oh man, this guy's actually funny." And then he goes, and he looks and he sees who it is, and he goes, "Never mind, I've seen this guy. He sucks." Winning him over to a previous set at the open mic, and he goes, "No, man, this guy sucks. Like, this guy's funny. I should maybe pay attention." Nah, fuck it. Like he just got lucky. One funny joke. So, yeah, good luck working out your sets in person when this all starts back up. We're gonna start this. You're gonna get 1 minute. I'm not gonna light you. I'm just gonna bounce to the next comedian after a minute. So, if you see the camera move, then just stop talking. I don't know. But our first comedian stuck around the whole time. Our first comedian tonight, Kelly Zimnickies.
Hi. So I had to start getting mammograms recently because I'm over 40. And I was trying to explain to a friend what a mammogram feels like. And the best way to describe it is think of a sandwich, like Go Food, think of a sandwich, specifically a panini. A mammogram is basically a boob panini. You know, the boob goes in, like it fucking hurts. It really does. I didn't know going into it, you know, what it was going to feel like. It's not like as a kid I got to play with Barbie's mammogram Malibu Mansion. You know, that toy doesn't exist, but it should. It should. That would be really helpful if it did. It would help the kids. Because like, there's really nothing more to say about that. I think that's all I got.
I want to point out, I'm old enough where I have sat on my balls multiple times, so that's got to be close to a mammogram. Our nice comedian, Rev Anthony.
Hey, all right, awesome, fuck, all right, way to kill time, okay, shit, god damn it, all right, fuck, I'm so high. All right, doctors are really smart and they have fetishes just like us. Now, I wonder, if a doctor's into sexting, do you think they sext like us or do they sext like doctors? You know, like some of us play it safe. Like we might be sexual, but we still like play it safe, keep it PG-13. Some of us might say, I want you to bite my nipples. Now, would a doctor say, I want you to apply pressure to my areolas? Some of us are savages and might up the ante and say, I want you to put a finger in my ass. Would a doctor say, I want you to insert a phalange into my anus? Guys are pigs. We don't know what we're doing. We go from 0 to 100. We'll go from 0 to 100 and say, suck my dick. Right? Ladies, fellas, such a classic line, throwing it right out there. So aggressive. But does a doctor say, I want you to put my penis in your oral cavity? All right, you guys are great. Thank you.
Oh, is it me?
Go.
Have you guys been doing the internet dating with all the apps and stuff? Yeah, you can't ask people on Tinder for money. That's how you get banned. Not that how would I know? That's crazy. But I will say I have like 4 internet boyfriends right now, and it is so much fun. It is wild. But one of my internet boyfriends, he doesn't realize that we had already met in person like a year and a half ago at a bar. Yeah, he said I was pretty funny, and then I thought, oh, I thought you were gonna say I was pretty, full stop. But that's okay. I guess, yeah, pretty funny. Yeah. What I guess I'll leave with this. What I miss doing the most is I miss going on real live dates and then asking them to tell me why Die Hard is a Christmas movie and then leaving and then coming back in an hour and they'd still be there talking about why Die Hard is a Christmas. I don't care at all. Thank you guys.
Yeah, Chilongo.
Yeah.
Did Moses really talk to a burning bush, or did Pharaoh have a gender reveal party? Speaking of gender reveal parties, America's fucked when it comes to them. I think India has a much better approach. They throw a party with food and music, if it's a boy. If it turns out to be a girl, they just throw the mother off the cliff like in 300.
Huh.
I had to get a refund on my yogurt from Instacart. Cancel culture. I call my wife Thanos, because if she snaps and leaves, I lose 50% of everything. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
wait, our next comedian left, so I gotta skip. Where's Pat Griffin's still here. Ying left. Pat Griffin, thank you. Go.
Go, go.
Well, what's your name? My sister moved in for COVID, right? You know about that? And my son came home and he's taking care of us. It's very strict. But we decided to sneak out and go to Costco for the senior hour. So we did everything right. We made our homemade masks. She cut out a pillowcase, and I found my husband's old Speedo in a drawer. And we marched into, we drove and we parked in the senior disabled parking. And we walked 2.5 miles around the building to get in line, where a man with a bullhorn yelled, "Spread 'em, seniors." Fortunately, those carts double as walkers. And we made it to the store, got in, straight to the back, where they had 3 armed guards handing out the toilet paper. And then I yelled, "We have to get out of here. The under 60 hordes are arriving." So we got out, we made it, and we stopped at the bank. And we wore our gloves, we wore our masks, and we marched into the bank. It's not our fault. They just threw that money at us. So when we got home, we did everything right. We washed our hands and we laundered the money.
Yeah. Sophia, go.
Okay. You guys, I am afraid of COVID. COVID's got me wearing a face mask, face shield, and a butt plug. So I didn't have a date to my senior prom. So my mom photoshopped golden tickets for me to give out at my high school, so someone would go to prom with me. My mom's like the Willy Wonka of trying to get me laid. And she also has the same haircut and same creepy eyes. I accidentally dated an evangelical Christian. Anybody here ever done that? Okay. I think he was trying to convert me into a sister wife. You guys seen that Sister Wife show on TLC where the guy will it was like in 2012, the guy would like migrate between his different wives' apartments. Every night he'd like change apartments. I think that show should have just been called Sisterhood of the Traveling Penis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian Smith, go.
It's my turn. Yeah, keep the go chant going.
Go.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
4 more years.
Hell yeah. We can always get a PTL up in this. I love praising the Lord. I love getting on my knees, opening my mouth real wide and saying, "Lord, I praise you." I don't know. I think that's how religion works. Isn't that right? Right? That's how religion works? I don't know. I grew up in a secular household. I don't know how religion works. I didn't know you're not supposed to clap after service. No one told me. Why not anyway? This guy spends a whole week preparing to give a performance on Sunday and you're not supposed to clap for him. That's a tragedy in my opinion. But I guess I'm out.
We gotta go. Alicia Rain, thank you.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, so I'm to the point where I don't know, religious, what's happening, but I do worship one God, and that's the porcelain God. Yeah, usually 3 a.m. on a Sunday after a very long night of sinning. I'll just get down on my knees and purge all of my sins to the porcelain god, and he just flushes them away. Now that's a god you can count on. This is my impression of Matthew McConaughey if he was a vampire. Vampire Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right. That's the thing about them high school girls. We both stay the same age.
Irvin, go, go, go.
Oh shit! Oh no! Praise the Lord! Praise the Lord! Praise the Lord! Quaslo, you're not allowed in here. I don't know what you thought happened or what's going on. What's that? What are you? Are you wearing your Taylor Swift black metal T-shirt? Jesus!
I fitted it again.
Good for you.
That's the greatest response you could have ever had to the question. I'm fitting it again. Oh God. All right, let's do an actual bit. My girlfriend is obsessed with what's going to happen to her body when she dies. Like, she's very strict. This is what's in my will and da 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 da. And I just personally cannot think of a dumber thing to be worried about, because here's bad news for you. You're gonna be fucking dead. So like, that doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't care. In all honesty, you could throw me in a river. Let me ruin one more child's birthday party one more time. Just anything. All right, get out of here, Quaslo. Do a whole set.
And if Quaslo popped in late, you can do a little bit longer, but go, Quaslo, go.
Hell yeah! Praise the Lord! Mom, what's the dumbest way you've ever hurt yourself?
Oh fuck, breaking my toe on a doorstop.
Hell yeah! You could have just put your hand down. I once ruptured a tendon in this finger trying to masturbate.
Oh no!
I say trying because I did not succeed. Turns out nothing ruins the mood quite like needing to go to the hospital. But for the next week, my top porn search was urgent care hours. In case you haven't looked at my face yet, I'm Jewish, and we are the only group of people that bigots hate, but don't watch porn of. Like, they'll search big black cock. No one's going to Pornhub and typing spoiled Jewish chick. All right? Like, the only people who fantasize about ending up with a Jew are our parents for us. It doesn't help that we have two languages and neither of them is sexy. Like, everybody knows about Hebrew. That's not a sexy language. You cannot seduce somebody with our other language is Yiddish. That's not sexy either. Does anybody here know how to say circle in Yiddish?
No.
Keikel. The word that was shortened into our ethnic slur. Have you ever had somebody try to intimidate you by calling you a circle? Although I don't get upset when somebody calls me a kike, I'm just busy being impressed with their vocabulary. One of my best friends, he's a black man. No, Ron, this one's not about you. But
No, it's not.
He was in bed with a woman, and she looked him in the eye and said, "Fuck me with that slave dick."
Oh no.
Yeah, risky move. You know what's fucked up is it turned him on. Like, some people are into feet. He's into the darkest period in his race's history. I'm not. If I'm in bed with a woman and she turns to me and says, "Fuck me with your 6 million dead dicks," that's going to take me way out of it. Because my dick is like 300,000 at most. All right, and by the way, I love how when I say 6 million, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like, I think every big human tragedy has its own number, right? Like, the Holocaust has 6 million. The Twin Towers attack has 9/11. And the Rwandan genocide has 1 Oscar for Don Cheadle. Bye.
Yeah, Adam Quaslow, you love to hear it. Even if it goes dark, that is great stuff. Thank you all for coming out. I need to get vaccinated and start doing this in person, but that is not happening because I have pre-existing conditions that are not important enough. They're the ones that you get to continue to discriminate against even for vaccines. So that's where I'm at.
Discriminate against Mark. Discriminate against Mark.
Thank you for coming out. We'll see you all next week.